I think we are live and rocking.
We are live.
Awesome, man. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Weekly Anabolic. We are here with episode 14.
Yeah.
And we're going to answer some questions today, chat about ourselves as we normally do. And, we'll see where this goes. But we got a couple questions lined up today. It's going to be a good time.
Hey.
Brandon, what's going on?
Not too much, man. How you been?
I've been good. It's actually been a really weird week, to be honest.
Has it
I've
already?
yeah. I've had a couple days this week where I just didn't feel like I was a person till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know exactly what it was. I actually talked through it with Nick a little bit because originally, this was happening a little while ago, and I thought it was because of my bad sleep, and which was because of my pre-workout training roughly before bed, right?
Mm.
But I really don't have much caffeine anymore. I mean, I have a cup of coffee in the morning, which should help, but it doesn't. And I think we've kind of narrowed it down to, for so long, I've been super go, 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 always doing something. And over the last couple weeks, I've kind of woken up and not had an exact plan of what to do with my day. And so it just leaves me it takes me some time to get kind of the gears turning.
Mm.
So I've had a couple of days this week where it just took me a long time to get the gears turning and get working on something. And so, but plan moving forward is to actually have a plan going into each day. That way, when I get up in the morning, I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Word.
yeah,
Is it just
it's been an
because
interesting week.
yeah, I was sorry, my bad.
No, go
Is it
ahead.
just because work is just kind of pulling back a little bit?
Yeah, so my big boy job has been a little bit quieter this week, which has been nice. Um, and then I think I have so many things that I'm trying to do outside of my big boy job that I kind of don't know what to go after first. And so
Mm.
I end up in this limbo of just tossing things around that I should do, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what I should do to start. And I actually just end up wasting more time.
Okay.
So I think that's really what it is. It's not that I have less things to do. It's that I just have less of a plan to kind of go after those things.
Less
So
structure.
yeah, a little bit less structured ends up having me be a little bit lost.
Yeah. How do you kind of get back on track with that stuff? Do you have a plan to kind of hop back in line, or how do you
Um,
decide on what to start on?
well, first, just recognizing that that's kind of what the issue is pretty big, because then that tells me that when I get up in the morning, I just need to start working on something and I'll kind of clear up. Because there was definitely some days in there where I was like, I definitely don't have the attention span to work on this. And really, I didn't have the attention span because I wasn't working on anything.
Mm.
So that was the first thing. And then after that, basically the night before, when I'm going to bed, I kind of just give myself a rough layout of the things that I'm going to accomplish the next day. And
Okay.
that's helped me. That kind of helps me get started and trying to create a better morning routine, get myself going. I'm walking the dog now, and I've finally added in. Actually, this morning was the first time I did it. I actually almost vomited, but I'm taking my supplements again. We just talked about that a couple episodes ago. How I'm really bad at taking supplements,
Yeah.
and so Nick suggested that the night before, I just put all of my supplements that I have to take in the morning in a cup or a shaker bottle. And then when I go out to walk the dog, I just fill it with water and down it. And except some of my supplements are literally just powder and instead of just a pill. And so I was drinking this glass full of pills and powder, and I just got this giant clump of powder come into my mouth. I almost vomited right there first thing in the morning.
Oh my god. Dude,
But
I saw a picture of that this morning. I was like, what
yep.
is that? Dude,
But you
that's
know what?
exactly what I thought you did with that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what? I took them. So
Yep.
we're gonna run with it.
All right. Are you gonna? Is that your preferred way to take them now?
I think so. I think it's just the easiest for me instead of like trying to lay it all out and then I just dump them all into one thing and full send it and move on with the day.
Word. So you're good at
Yeah.
taking pills.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they were all pills. I wish they
Instead of
weren't powder. Yeah.
That's just like one thing is a pill, the other thing is like powder, but then like mixing them, that's like just that's crazy. You're
Yeah.
crazy.
The the bad one, it like kind of caught me off guard. It took me a second to get it down. Was my magnesium pill because
Those
it
ones,
was just way bigger than the rest of my pills,
yeah.
and
Those are like
it didn't want to go
suppositories.
down. I like kept having to fill my glass with water, trying to get the magnesium pill to go down. I was like, what the hell? But
I used to be so bad at taking pills. Like I used to like put the pill in my mouth and then I'd go to like just down it. And then for some reason I'd just like swallow, but the pill would be like pinned against my tongue and like roof
oh
of my
my
mouth. There'd
god.
be like no more water in there. Like I just had such a horrible time with pills. I'm a little bit better now. I can take like maybe two at a time.
Oh, I can throw back like 5 or 6 pills at a time.
How do you do that if they're all like facing different ways? Like I literally, if a pill doesn't go down like pin straight, like in a line with my throat, it just feels like it's going down like sideways. And I feel like
It's
that episode of SpongeBob when Squidward gets the clarinet like shoved in his throat, and he's like, oh, oh.
yeah. Honestly, the key is to just chug water instead of trying to like sip a little glug of water. You just fucking chug water, and it all just goes down.
Yeah.
Like nature takes place, and everything aligns, and you're more focused on just getting the water down, and it all just goes with it.
Were you ever a drinker at one point?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely was. I
Gotcha.
definitely was. Yeah.
Gotcha. Were you
I
good
was.
at like throwing stuff back?
Yes.
All right, word, word.
Yeah. I was a bit of a party head in college, so
Damn, dude. Well, I wish we not that I was a party head, but I think it would have been fun if we had hung out. That would have been
it
fun.
would have been fun. We
For sure.
already knew that.
Yeah,
We missed that opportunity in college.
we messed up. We messed up.
Yeah. Fun fact for everybody that didn't know, Brandon and I went to college together,
Yeah.
and we never said a single word to each other.
Yep. We actually may have had a class together too, I think.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yep.
Never said a word.
You and Haley, I saw both you guys. Always
Yep.
like I can remember that like clear as day. I wish I had said something.
Yeah. But here we are.
Yep.
Good times. Yeah,
Brady did
college.
play the stone cold face though. I will admit, I was like, oh shit, Brady's like a serious cat.
Yeah.
He don't take no
I
shit.
don't, he don't take shit. I don't know. I think it was definitely just my face. I really tried to be I try to be a pretty lighthearted person.
Yeah.
You
When you
know,
get to know you, yeah, you're obviously very approachable.
right. Even in classes, especially we had class with Dr. G, right?
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
so. If
yeah.
that is true, Brady, like I can't really remember, but if that is true,
Wasn't it
I had
sports
the
psych?
worst presentation.
Yeah, it was sports psych.
There's sports. Was it ethics in sport or was it just sports psych?
I think it was just sports psych.
Okay, if it was sports psych, then I didn't have the worst presentation of my entire life. Okay, all right, so we're okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, sports psych was fun. I had a lot of fun with Dr. G.
He was
What
awesome.
helped, yeah, Dr. G's freaking sick. What helped is I was not in any sort of athletic major. Like I have my bachelor's degree in computer information systems.
And Brady's just chilling in sports psych, like, hey,
I took it because it sounded fun.
yeah, it is pretty
And
fun, right?
it was a very fun class. I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun in that class. That was my final year of college,
Mhm.
and I needed like one more course so that I had enough credits to graduate that year, because I'd finished my degree. And I was like, I'm so tired of IT classes, but I really liked working out, so I it's like, let's do sports psych because Haley told me Dr. G was awesome and she was taking it too. So
Yeah,
that's
that was the best recommendation she could have given you out
yeah,
of the other
all
guy.
of the athletic classes.
Yeah, definitely. That you were able to get into, yeah, for sure.
Right, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
I
everyone else. Mm.
Man, sometimes I think about if I could like go back to high school and tell myself like what career path to follow.
Yeah.
I haven't decided if I would do the same thing. Cause I mean, my job has done very well for me. And like my career path has done very well for me. But I hated my classes. Like I I simply passed the classes just to pass the classes so that I could get the piece of paper and move forward because none of it was relevant to IT today. And I already knew that because
That's how I felt about my major as well.
I had already worked in corporate IT before going to college, and I still work in corporate IT for the same company. And the IT
It's a
and
nice company, though, mind you.
yeah,
It is
oh
a
yeah,
good company.
it's a Fortune 500 company, has been for almost 2 centuries.
Mhm.
And it's just what they taught in school had zero relevance to my career path in this company, which, now I've pondered I really should have gone for some sort of, health or athletic major
Mhm.
because I love this stuff. That's why we're on this podcast is because we talk about this kind of stuff.
Yes.
I obviously live it now.
Mhm.
um, so sometimes I wonder if how my life would be different if I had gone to college and pursued an athletic major. Because I didn't. I also here's the thing, man. I didn't. I didn't make any friends in college through at least through my major.
No.
Almost no. Oh God, no. Because none of them just like were on the same brainwave as me, I
Mm.
guess. Like there was never any similarities. We didn't do any of the same stuff. Like
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. It's kind of like asking like an exercise science major. It's like, oh, what do you like to do in your spare time? It's
so
like
let's talk about finance.
lift.
Right.
It's like, oh, same.
Nice. We should do that together.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, if I would have been an athletic major, I would have met you earlier. I would have met Nick earlier. I mean, I met Nick pretty early in college, but I probably would have followed and been around and kind of been a part of that group earlier, and not
Mhm.
because I was strong enough to be in that group, but just because we have a very similar mindset in what we do, which would have correlated to my transition to what I'm doing now probably a lot sooner.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, um,
It
so
probably would
yeah,
accelerate your path just slightly, you know.
yeah, I'd be
I'm definitely a
deadlifting
firm
six
believer that
plates.
it all. Yeah. Yeah, we'd probably be at 6 by now. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes I think about college and if I would actually change my college experience.
Mhm.
I don't know. A lot of stuff happened for me in college. So,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's one of those weird
It's
ones.
a college is one of those weird ones where like if you like kind of don't need it and you can get away with like working without having to go to college, sometimes it's like it's kind of a better
Kind of the
path
way to
to
go.
go. Yeah.
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 But,
Yeah.
you know, the beauty of college, and especially going away to like a 4 year, is, most of us grow up in the same town with the same people for all of our lives. And then what's awesome about college is you get a chance to finally just be in and create your own circle and gain an experience away from all of the voices that have already shaped you.
Hmm.
And that's a really cool experience that I think, people call it the college experience, but I think a lot of people, when they say the college experience, they just talk about partying. But really, the college experience is more about developing your own character outside of the societal norms within your own place of birth, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really cool part of college. It's
I
just
always
like, go ahead.
I always kind of viewed it as like as you get older, like obviously you have like a bunch of chains on you when you're like between the ages of 0 and like 5, and then
Yeah,
once you can kind of like talk and articulate and like think for yourself a little bit, like a few more chains kind of like fall off, and then now you're in like kind of you're in grade school, and then middle school, high school, and then you move into
yeah,
college, and like when you're in college, it's like a lot of those chains kind of like break off, and there's really only like a couple left. So there's like a lot of
yeah,
freedom to kind of create who you are and what you want to do and be and think, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty dope. I
yeah.
am really afraid that like at the same time, have you ever heard of Gary Vee like talking about college as like an all expenses paid like free vacation? Like, because
I
at
haven't
the
heard
same
him talk
time,
about it, but that's
at
funny.
at the same time, it's like if you're a liberal arts major and you're going to like a big school, no
Right.
way. It's like no way.
So,
Come on.
yeah, I've told people before, I don't my all of the money that was spent for college, I don't know if I can say it was worth the degree, but it was worth the personal development and growth and opportunities that it opened up for me personally.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, college is kind of what you get out. You get out what you put in. If if you're gonna sit in your dorm and only do your work and not try and experience anything, then yeah, I mean your college experience is just whatever your degree is worth,
Yeah.
but you can get so much more out of it.
For sure. You're better off buying textbooks if you're just gonna like just
Right.
if you're gonna be
Yeah.
like super like how much value are you really trying to get out of college and what you can get out of college, you know what I mean? Like if I didn't want everything else, like I almost paid 20 grand to like like have a really cool like friend group and like be exposed to really cool professors, really cool ideas on top of like what the school was actually meant to just do for you. Like the
Right.
school is just pretty much supposed to just kind of like stamp. It's just like a giant like stamp. It just
Yeah, it's
keeps
a
on
stamp of
producing the
approval
same
saying,
one.
"Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
did it."
But you get like so much more. You get so much more out of it sometimes if you can like meet a really cool professor. Like shout out to DW, like Sanders, like those guys. They're all really cool, and like I definitely took a lot away from them, and like stuff like that's really cool. The textbook stuff though, like I could have bought that textbook and I could have read that textbook by myself, and I could
Right.
have written flashcards and known what all of this stuff is by myself.
Yeah, and I think that's what really frustrated me about my college career is the education didn't feel like an actual education. Like the education didn't feel like a learning experience, right? It felt like I was being taught word for word from a textbook, which was put on a PowerPoint, which was read word for word to my face in a classroom.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Hmm.
It was for something that is as hyped up as college is and how important it's supposed to be and how, I mean, times are changing, but how prestigious a college degree is supposed to mean. It's pretty underwhelming to go into your college experience and you sit down in a classroom just like in high school and they read off a PowerPoint to you just like they did in high school, which is direct word for word from a textbook, just like in high school. It doesn't feel like a deeper learning experience.
Yeah, like the Socratic method is like nowhere to be seen. Like
Right.
the ability to like bounce ideas and kind of formulate and have this really organic growth, it's like not as present as you would think it is in college. Like you would think of college as like, oh, there's so much growth and this like
Yeah.
beautiful like explosion of proliferation, and it's like no, it's actually like a stamp, and it's just like boom,
Yeah.
you get stamped
Like
on the forehead with like exactly what the year before you got stamped with.
Yeah, you don't get to learn how to become a critical thinker or learn how to actually analyze whatever's being talked about because now the education system has a set criteria of you must go through this within
Mhm.
the year, which means we have to cover this amount of topics within the year.
Mhm.
And so you can't really take time to elaborate and go into depth and ask questions and, have conversation because you'll fall behind on the curriculum.
Yeah.
And it's ruined education.
Mhm. The
It's just
It's
not
also
there.
interesting too because like when you have a certain amount of time to like teach something, then that also only allows you to kind of like teach that and then you what aren't you teaching, you know?
Yeah,
Like I'll honestly I think the ability to like critically think is really on the person themselves. If that person just like as a student just wants to just like soak in everything and then fall on that professor's sword, then by all means then you will have
sure.
done that. But like I think it was Sanders, could have been Sanders that said this, but he basically said that like whenever you read a piece of literature, like of like scientific literature or study of some sort, you and like whenever you see the like title, you always take it as false, no matter what. And you can lay that relatively across everything, no matter what. If someone tells you something, you take it as false until it's proven true to
Until,
you. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So it's kind of like that was a really valuable thing that I was able to take away from like school, which honestly doesn't, that's not really something that a lot of people, that professors would
That's
usually
not really
push.
taught that much, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I literally remember back in middle school, Professor Jacques, he used to, like, if someone did something out of line, like, not even out of line, like, if they just did something that he didn't want them to do, he would always say, no independent thinking.
That's
How poisonous is that? That's so
terrible.
poisonous. Yeah, that is so bad. No independent thinking. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Education system is very interesting. I
Hmm.
love I love learning, but I hate school
Yeah.
because school is not equivalent to learning.
No.
You know, I am very very happy to take a topic and research it myself and form the opinions and thoughts that I can from whatever I've found. Um, and teaching is not that. Teaching now is singular method, one size fits all. This is the end all be all of information.
Yeah. And it's memory and it's
Yeah.
fixed, you know?
Yep.
And it's like if I gave you this tool, okay, now can you use it? No. Okay. And that I
Or
think
can you regurgitate what I just said?
yeah,
Perfect.
it's like perfect. Thank you. Great. Now can you go
Yep.
use that?
Great A.
No. Awesome. So it's kind of like how can we get these people to like use these tools, you know? It's I literally
And
just go ahead, Brady. Sorry, man.
okay. I think that's driven from needing to assign a grade value to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we we have to have some sort of mark on whether people are being taught, and that mark is now being decided by a test and the same test to try and standardize it all, right? Which is in theory a good thing, right? But what that has led to is instead of absorption of information and further understanding, it has led to top of the mind memorization,
Mm-hmm.
regurgitation, and then forgotten.
Yeah.
And there's not actually any sort of learning there. It's, I got to put this on a flashcard to make sure that I don't miss the question on Friday.
Yeah. It's the application of the tool that we've just given you. Like
Exactly.
the it doesn't it's like one thing to be able to memorize something that's really good, but then it's another
Yeah,
thing to
absolutely.
be able to apply that like laterally across a few other things. Like that is like the next level thinking. Like you're very baseline when you're just touting definitions. When you're able to like spread that same topic across a few other ones, like
Yeah.
in like on like a relativity kind of a spectrum kind of a thing.
If you can bring definitions to conversation,
Yes,
that's
yes,
when a further level of education has happened.
yes.
But we are in a point in our education system where there is so much being forced down, well, I guess, into our brains
Hmm.
that most students won't take the time to develop the skill of application of what they're learning
Hmm.
because they have so many other things to also try and remember.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like there's too much education happening at once. You know, people can only take in and apply so much knowledge at one time because a
Yeah.
little bit of education has to be application and practice. And when you're throwing 3 chapters in 4 different classes into your brain at the same time, it's really hard to walk away from that and
Yeah.
knowing what to do with it in the time span that they want you to do something with it, I suppose.
I
So,
think another thing is also like being able to question things because just going back to the falling on the sword thing, like when the most the most the biggest pitfall that could ever happen to someone coming out of college is to think that they're done, right? That
yeah,
you've finished college and you now know everything. And if all you know is what your professors have told you, then you don't know everything because they don't know everything and they haven't translated everything to you. Like if you just come out and you think you've got it all, odds are you probably don't. So like you need to it has to be like on you to continue your education and bring it into other areas and to question things. Like I think the biggest thing, this isn't even like in a an atmosphere of like actually it really is actually the knees past toes, right?
right.
Like knees going past
That's a
toes,
great example.
hips going past or below 90, below knees. It's like there are professors that will literally say to this day, like, don't do that. That's bad.
Right.
There are personal trainers to this day that will say, don't do that. That's bad.
Yep.
But why? Why do they say that? And it's really only because they've been fed that information and then they just regurgitate the memorization that they had with that.
Yep.
They don't have any other next level thinking like they actually couldn't even probably tell you the reasons why they have that thought, which is next
Yeah.
level. The reasons why they have that thought is because that person told them that. That's one. But then if you actually really want to dig a little bit deeper behind the reason that they actually are thinking that or should be thinking that, it's because knees past toes would imply that you would be overstretching the tendons. So previously, or not even previously, way back in the day, like in like the 50s or 60s, there was a study ran in I think Texas. Basically wanted to study the a full depth squat and knee laxity. And basically the study was like, okay, if you squat super deep and you let your knees track past your toes, the tendons uh of your knees, they'll just basically lengthen and they won't be able to return. And
Yep.
you'll have shitty knees. Okay. And then what happens for like 40 years, 50 years now, everyone's like, don't do that. Right.
Yeah.
But they don't even
Everyone
know
held
why.
on to that study.
Exactly. They don't even know why. And they also don't know that like 10, 20 years later, another study came out that showed the complete opposite.
Yep.
So it's like not only do you have these people behind the information, like but behind the actual news, but it's false. So it's just like a double whammy of like, dude,
Yep.
just you gotta like level up your thinking and your questions, because sometimes you can't just take everything for at face value.
Yeah. Yep. But that's our education system right now. You know, it's
There
it
is some
really is
good.
on the individual to decide if they want a deeper education or not. And
Hmm.
I think that's just how it is.
Hmm.
Um, it's not I'm not going to blame professors or whoever makes up curriculums, because there has to be some sort of standard of people that are coming out of an education system, right? Otherwise, we'll have doctors that learned everything that they need to know, and we'll have doctors that only learned how to check if they have strep,
Hmm.
right? And there has to be some sort of standardization so that we have a relative idea of who we're putting out into the workforce. So I can't blame the education system as much as I can just blame the individual. As a person in your field, you should want to be the best in your field and the greatest at your craft. And
Mm-hmm.
part of that is continuing your education and asking why, and asking, is this actually right? Is this, could this be better? You as a person, you have to ask deeper questions and look for more and try to become better. That's on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. How can I be better? And
Exactly.
why does this happen?
Yep.
You know?
What can be done to change my field?
Yeah.
You have to stimulate yourself, and that sounded weird. You have to stimulate your brain.
Yeah, psychologically, mentally.
Man, knowledge. Get your head out of the gutter.
Knowledge. Knowledge. God.
Yeah, you have to want more for yourself in whatever field you chose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so-
Everyone says that knowledge is power. I always say that knowledge is potential power because it isn't until you actually like start using and applying that potential energy, that potential knowledge can actually turn into like kinetic stuff, you know?
yeah,
So it's like that knowledge is only potential until you turn it into something.
good application of energy right there.
Hey,
Nice.
thank you.
Brandon knows.
I'm gonna write that down.
Write
Who
that
said
one
that?
down.
Who said that?
Oh, but yeah, let's kind of get into some other things now. We got to do what we've told ourselves we're gonna do on every episode, and let's cover our best thing and worst thing from the gym this week.
Okay. Oh, righty. Oh God. Oh, did you hear that?
I did hear that.
Whoa.
Was that your
It's my
sternum?
Yeah. You ever get those cracks?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, weird ones.
I was gonna ask in a weekly call next week if that's normal.
Thank God it is.
All right, two
Yeah,
for two.
so there it is. Um, one bad thing. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. It's like a combo, but I'm gonna keep it as my bad thing.
Okay.
Failed 315.
Yes, I saw that.
Failed
What
315.
happened there?
It felt really light in my hands when I lifted it off the rack,
Oh,
and then
well, that's
not
cool.
so light when I got to around 90 degrees.
What compelled you to go after 315 this week?
Oh, just being stupid.
You're just feeling
Yeah,
it.
I was just being. It was nothing was aligned. The stars were not aligned whatsoever. Like it was almost like a pitch black night, dude. I had a horrible sleep. I didn't eat too well that day either. Went in like from a nap. Went in. I was like, damn, maybe this is gonna be one of those workouts that just turns out really good, and it was not. I was so wrong. Yeah, I like had my pre-workout. I was like trying to get into it, and I was working up to it, and like 225, I was like that felt a little heavy. I'm gonna keep going. So then I put like a 10 on, and I was like that felt a little bit lighter, like especially off the rack. And then the next one obviously felt light off the rack too, but a little bit heavy. And then I was at like 3 plates before I know it, and then yeah, and I'm like this feels good. And then I just went for it, and it just didn't work out. So. But it's not like it didn't work out. It didn't work out, but it will work out soon.
It will
It
work
felt
out.
it was a nice failure. I was proud with
Yeah.
it. I was happy with it.
That's why I actually really like starting my RDL by pulling almost from the bottom of an RDL. It's really more like a rack pull when I unrack it
Mm,
because it makes me kind of own the weight first.
okay.
It sets it up so that I have to be fully prepared just to unrack the weight, and it generally sets me up in a better position to then perform reps. It
Okay.
was a
So
weird
you
thing that I stumbled upon because all of the racks were taken, and so
mm,
I started putting my
oh yeah,
sets
dumbbells.
on a set of dumbbells on the
Yeah.
floor,
Yeah, yeah.
and these are hex dumbbells, so they don't
Mm-hmm.
roll. And
There
then
actually is a use.
yeah, there is a use for hex dumbbells. Who would have thought? And yeah, so anyway, if you want to see it, you can check it out. It's on my Instagram. But yeah, having to kind of own the weight before actually starting the set put me in a way better mindset of like, I fucking got this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And get everything set up mechanically. And yeah, so give that a shot.
I will
Don't
give
pull
that
it
a
from
shot.
the floor,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
pull it from like a rack pull, like
Just
just
above
below
knee?
knee,
Oh, just
just
okay.
below
All right,
knee.
word.
Yep.
Word. Yeah. All right, word. The yesterday I was pressing and I tried to do something I saw Nick do, which was like not just freaking like just like use both knees to just like rocket thrust it like up to the ceiling. He was like when I watched him, you like 120 like super slow. I was like Jesus. So I like tried it. I like felt super duper tight, and I was like, okay, this actually feels kind of nice. Like not like just throwing it all against the wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
Felt kind of good. So I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
start like racking out like that. But then like I definitely need to come out of it a little bit stronger because like I'm like, oh, I'm like get a little
Right.
stuck.
Yeah. So it's slow in, but then it's breathe into your stomach and then give it a good hard push,
Yeah.
like off
Mm-hmm.
the bottom. Yeah, I've also watched that and tried to implement it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit tricky,
Yeah. I get
but
a weird little click, like
eh,
weird. I can't even tell you where it is. It's like a deep psoas click. I don't like it if I like
rooted.
really thrust. So I
Huh,
like decided to go with the slower method.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I just suck at dumbbell pressing in any form, so I'm not
Mm.
really one to give advice on that.
I've actually been liking dumbbell pressing more than barbell.
I can't fucking
Um,
do it.
yeah.
I'm so
I
bad
think
at
it's
it.
it's time that I go back to dumbbell soon though. I mean, barbell soon though. I actually kind of miss it.
Yeah.
We took a barbell overhead press out for some reason.
Put it
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah, we took out walking lunges and then we put in barbell lunges. Just like fuck.
What was your best thing to happen this week?
My squat felt really good today. When it happened. My front squat went really well. Because I was like
Nice.
talking to
It
Nick.
looked good. I saw it. You posted a video of it, I think.
Yeah, I actually think I only posted like accidentally one video, and then I haven't been able to get back to it. I'll post the rest of it. But
Yeah.
basically, that first one was just like my first set that I tried as my working set, but I set the standards a little bit too high, and I just like bounced off the bottom, off the standards. I
It
was like,
looked
oh
fine to
shit.
me.
I don't know if you heard it, but I could have gone a little
Oh,
bit deeper. So I'm gonna post another one, or the rest of it, I guess, and then you'll be able to see it. But Nick was just telling me he was like, you just gotta like kind of let go a little bit, and so I was really trying to not be too like anal retentive about literally everything, like
yeah.
every degree of movement. And
Yep.
I just like kind of let it go, and I got more reps. Surprise.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is like I like this. I'm like taking the horse blinders off, kind of. Is kind
Nice,
of what
man.
I'm gonna start doing. Yeah, I'm pumped for that. So that's gonna be like my win.
That's cool. That'll be good.
Yeah, man.
Your
What
front
about
squat's
you, Brady? What about
about to blow
you?
up.
About to blow up.
About to blow up. Um, Worst thing that happened is actually I'm starting to think it's a chronic issue. Is my front squat, I can only perform it well every other time I do it. Like it's so weird. Cause one week I'll front squat 315 for like 4 and 5 is like right there. And then the next time I go to do it, I'll get 2 and just like crumple. I'm like,
Oh
what
fuck.
the hell
Yeah,
is going
yeah, yeah,
on?
yeah.
It's so frustrating. I was so mad
Hmm.
because I really thought I was gonna get it and like, try and go after 6. And it just did not happen. I think
That's yeah.
I get in my head super hard about front squats, which definitely isn't helping. And I think that's one reason why the performance is so weird is because if I get in my head wrong about it, or like this specific time, the rack that I was using it was super close to a mirror. So I'm in a different gym for this week.
Mm-hmm.
And the rack I was using is super close to a mirror. And so I unracked it and went to do the set, and I just like I caught myself and looked at myself like right in the eye, and it just like killed the set. I was like I stood up. It felt a little rough. I caught myself in the eye, and it just instantly said, "You're done." Like,
yeah, it's like you can't. You
and
your reflection was going like this.
right, I was looking at myself, and my reflection was like, "You're fucked, man."
Yeah.
And I went down to do a third rep, and literally like my knees caved. Like it was like my first day front squatting again. Like my knees caved, and I was done. I was so mad about it.
Yeah.
So that was probably the worst thing that happened to me in the gym this week was my weird performance with my front squats.
Gotcha. Okay.
What
good thing happened?
Probably a couple things. One, I've been in a different gym, which has been nice to have an environment change. That's been super nice. Two, our Barbell Road 355.
Hey.
So that was cool.
Damn.
That was a good day.
God
I
damn.
felt pretty good about that one.
What is that? That's
3 plates and 2
plates?
tens
Okay.
each side.
Cool.
Yeah, so almost to
Yeah.
3.5 plates.
Let's go.
We're
Let's
almost there.
go. Hey.
Yeah, and that actually felt really good. I got it for like 7.
Nice.
Which is right in the middle of my rep range. You know, I want to clean it up a little bit. I got a little bit too stand-up-ish towards the end that I just need to bring down just a little bit. But, you know, I'll get that this week. And then I can move forward. But that was good. That was actually my first day in the new gym.
Okay.
And I swear that day I was like, the weights have to be lighter here.
Oh,
Like,
that's such a good feeling.
There's no way the weight, because so in this gym, all of the plates match. In my gym, none of the plates match.
Yeah, that's a normal
pretty
for
sure
me too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of the plates that are in the gym that I normally train in are like 48 pounds.
Yeah.
Like there is some heavy 45-pound plates in there. I was like, all right, whatever. Oh, sorry. My cat just meowed at me. I was patting her. She got a little upset right there. I'm sorry. But yeah, the weights felt really light. And so that was why I was super optimistic about my front squat set, which let me down quite a bit. Yeah. Oh, I've got a runner-up worse thing.
Okay.
So I'm having this issue, another chronic issue. I'm having this issue with overhead press. And I'm at the point where I'm trying to put so much pressure through the floor that I'm actually tipping the bench. The bench is lifting up off the ground while I'm trying to then redirect pressure upwards. Right. And so that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Does like the leg that comes underneath the seat that hits the floor, does it have like does it like platform out a little bit? Because then you could maybe like put something on it.
Yeah, that's what I did the last time I was in my normal gym. In this new gym, I was just hoping it wasn't going to happen, because the way that the little, I guess, foot of the bench that's right there, a dumbbell wouldn't really sit on it well, and neither would a plate or anything. So I was just hoping it wasn't going to do it, but it did. And so I'm starting to see the benefit of like an actual overhead press setup.
Okay.
Versus just trying to do it in a friggin' rack.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I talked to Nick about it. He's like, "Yep, happens all the time."
Yeah.
You gotta end up placing something on the bench.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Right.
guess I'll figure it out. It's not just a me issue. So that's been annoying because I think I've actually got a lot to give on my overhead press, but the bench keeps moving. I've had times where the bench has actually just like shifted back on me. So I'll like be pushing through the floor, and then I go to press, and the whole bench fucking moves. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been interesting trying to figure out how to get that all to work. But I'll get it figured out.
We always do.
Yep. But today's RDL day, my dude.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
What are you pulling today?
Uh, at least 455 for 7.
455.
Yep.
For 7.
If I warm up and 4 plates feels like super good, and then like 4.5 plates, I decide I'm gonna do it for 1, and then I'll do like 465 and try and get like 5.
Dude.
That'd be cool. I also thought about it, I was like, what if I thought about taking the U approach. I'm like, what if I just load up 5 plates on the bar and see if I can do it for like 1?
Let me just get a sniff.
Let me just feel it, right?
Like.
Maybe, and do it for 1 and then set it down and do like my actual top set.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We're gonna see how I feel when I walk in there.
Oh God.
So we'll
Do it.
find out. We'll see how quick I can touch 5 plates. It's gonna happen.
I will say you're in a much better scenario because like everything's kind of good. So like you hitting that top set, you'll be okay. Like coming back off, your top set will actually probably feel lighter.
Probably.
With me, I was like, damn, that was heavy. And then I came down, I was like, damn, that was heavy.
Yeah.
And I just kept going down. I was like, what is going on?
What was your set after you did 315?
Bro, after I dropped it, well, okay, and then I came down to 275.
Okay.
275 felt like doo-doo butt. Went down to 225. I literally felt like I couldn't move.
Oh my
And
God.
then at 225, after that didn't move well, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do 5 sets, 10 reps, pauses, 135, and I just busted it. I was so upset.
I've had days just like that where just like nothing moves right. And so you pick a weight that should be just stupid light, right? It should not be an issue, and it's terrible. It's
Milk it. Yeah, I know. I was like,
you
this is whole like. I look like such a weenie with my
like
130.
that's how that happens to me with rows a lot. Like
Really?
I'll have a day where rows just don't groove right, and I end up having to drop stupid low just trying to get it to like move in the right path. And I always feel really dumb
Yeah.
because most of the time it's just the path that is wrong. So when I drop down super light, I can do like a really dumb tempo on it. Right? Like rowing 225 is pretty well in my wheelhouse at this point.
For sure. For like
And
you, right?
for quite a few.
For like 25.
Like 20, yeah.
Yeah.
20 definitely.
Dude, that's
And and so I'll feel out like, well, now I'm up to 355. I'll do 355 and it'll feel like shit. I'll be like, what the hell? And then I'll do cat. I'll do 315. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This just is not working. And I'll do 225, but to make it worth a damn, I have to do it slower than anything. And so I'm just like slowly moving back and forth. I'm like, because muscularly, I'll move it just fine. Right? I can brute force it just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the path isn't right. So it's so annoying. I understand. I've been there. Happens all the time.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll come back next week.
It all comes. That's right. There's many weeks of
Yeah.
bodybuilding left.
Truth. Yes.
But yeah, crazy week in the gym.
Shit.
Crazy week.
I added 10 pounds to my row.
Nice, man. That's a
Still,
lot, dude. 10 pounds on a row is a lot.
yeah. Yeah. I probably won't be going up another 10 pounds.
What
Yeah. It
I
was
didn't
a pretty
ask
dirty
you this
set
yet.
too.
I didn't ask you this yet. How heavy are you?
I
Did you
actually
break?
didn't weigh myself this morning, so I
Yes.
don't know.
Oh my
Should I
God.
step on the
How
scale
you
right now? It's not a true weigh-in.
It's not a
That might be
true
kind of
way.
fun.
Yeah. Quick. Brandon's gonna go weigh himself. Here's the moment of truth. With his clothes on, will he break 150?
That was a good one. 68.0 kilograms.
Oh, you do kilogram? Well, we actually have a decent amount of listeners across the pond. So,
Like maybe
cheers
like
to all you guys. Thank you for listening, by the way.
yeah.
But for my meathead, what is that?
What the fuck?
What,
I
what is
think that's
68?
I think it's like 158. 68.
158.
Maybe 157.
What is the math on that?
68 times 2. An ad.
Wow.
We're not sponsoring these. Okay. 68 times 2.2. 149.6 with close.
Brandon,
2 meals.
you need to eat more.
Eat more. Fuck.
God damn it.
Shout out to Keith and Kevin for sending me back home with like literally baked goods and chocolates like almost every time I
There you
go over
go.
there.
Gotta eat them all.
They're helping keeping the skinny away.
That's right. They're giving you gains. They are hand feeding you gains.
Literally.
I think I've officially broken 200 pounds to stay. I've had 2 days in a row where I've been over 200 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah. So
100-pound club, dude.
200 pounds, no clothes, fasted weight.
Give me some of that. What the heck?
I told you, dude, you know where it is. You just have to come live here. I'll
God
show you
damn.
all of the secret ways.
Yeah, everything from the powdered supplement pills,
That's
taking
all
it as
the
a
stupid
shot,
shit I do.
to the hex
Yeah,
plate
man.
barbell setup.
Yep. You know, it seems like I do a lot of dumb shit, but it in fact works.
There's a method to the madness.
It does happen to work. So we're sticking with it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've picked up a pizza. I think I have to pick up a pizza.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I crushed some sushi the other night. Actually, I think it was last night.
Do you pick your
Definitely
sushi up from Wegmans?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how do you afford to go out and get sushi from the restaurant like almost every other day?
I mean, picking it up from Wegmans isn't any cheaper. Because
No,
I no.
I haven't really
Dude,
checked it yet.
I buy like
You also buy like 40.
I buy
Yeah,
like 5 containers of sushi.
yeah. That's
And
probably easily like $50.
yeah, it's like 40.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Damn.
so but that's why I'm thankful for my big boy job. See, it all loops back around.
Yes. Brady went to college to support his feedery.
So I
So
can
he
eat
can
sushi. That's right.
so that I can eat sushi.
It is a really great trade-off. But yeah, fun week. We're getting
Good.
big.
Shit, man. Good shit.
I had someone tell me that I looked big. That felt good.
Hey,
Yeah,
Yo,
that felt
shit.
good.
Yo, I'm tired of I mean, I really do appreciate the compliments, guys. I love you. Stop telling me I'm shredded. No, I'm kidding. Totally
Damn, you're shredded. That was me.
like, shit.
I tell you, you shredded.
I know.
I called you
Dr.
Dr.
I
Shreds.
Dr. Shreds. I'm like, fuck.
God damn it. Brady's gonna give me an eating disorder. Oh my god.
All right. I have a question, Brady.
You have a question or I have a question?
Do we have time for a question?
We got time for questions.
We can have a question.
We got like 30 minutes.
All right, word skis. My question is, how do you go about maintaining your composure during a set, and not just, completely blowing the gasket off and compromising yourself?
Um, well, I think part of it is I perform better when I'm calm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big part. Just because when I get all amped up before a set, it generally just throws off my beginning cues, which is going to throw off all of my other cues. So I just prefer to be very calm and focused, kind of tunnel visioned.
Mm.
And then in the set, I'll be honest, sometimes I just let it loose. I like, especially on something like front squats is where it happens the most. And I just like lose my shit.
You just let go.
Yeah, I just kind of got to let it go. But a lot of it just kind of comes down to practice. Like I can let it go verbally, but I kind of have the memory and the path refined to a point where I don't have to think about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not an aggressive person, I guess. So there's
Yeah.
probably lots of people. There's probably lots of people that what their idea of like blowing their top versus my idea of blowing my top is. That's probably sounds awful too. Don't take these things out of
Stimulating yourself, Brady,
the
blowing your top.
context.
I just don't know anymore.
God damn it. Of
You said it, man, not me.
I know. Oh man. We had a big following base. That'd be a meme. Okay. you know, someone's idea of just like losing it versus to me what losing it is are likely very, very different. Me losing it is more times than not just like a fucking yell in the
Yeah.
rep,
Yeah,
right?
isn't it?
It's not, it's right. It's just some demon noise that comes out of my face while I'm trying to stand back up. But that's kind of the extent to it. And then I reset and go into the next rep. I never will I finish a rep and like fucking rip my head around and start yelling and get myself, further amped because I just spent so much time getting set up for a lift that I just fucked up. Right? So, my losing it is just generally a yell.
Hmm.
And I don't decide when I'm going to do that. It's just one of those things that kind of happens. I'm not like, yep, gonna yell this rep.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like,
Gonna- Everyone will hear me.
like my my lifting is very organic. It just happens as it happens.
Mhm.
So if a yell happens, it's generally just because that's what was pent up and that's what felt right to finish the rep. I don't try and change my brain in the middle of a set, right? That I do all of that work in my head before the set. Like if I got to put myself in a mindset before I start reps, that's totally different. But generally that's also done very quietly. You know, I'm not jumping around the gym, beating my chest. I hate making a scene.
Yeah, me
Right?
too.
I hate making a scene. You know, I always love just like blending in with the walls. And that's it. I just try and blend in, like nobody notice me unless you see what I'm doing, right?
Mhm.
But I don't want to draw attention before, especially before a set starts. Like I hate going into a set and feel like people are just like watching me. That's probably why I'm not a power lifter.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, I like to be in my own world. Everybody's minding their own business. Set myself mentally, however it needs to be done for that set. You know, it's different. I gauge it day to day on where I need to put myself to do what I have to do, and then I just do it. You know,
Mhm.
and whatever happens in the set happens, but I have the goal of performing each rep exactly the same the whole time.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
do you do anything weird? I've never heard you really.
Yeah, I suck on my toes right
I,
before I get onto the rack.
I need a little extra sodium, so I start sucking on my toes.
um, how so? Like, basically same question. Like, what do I
Yeah,
do?
like I don't even know. You don't even yell. I don't know if I've heard you like really let out like a oomph before.
Wow. I mean, I will admit that I do umph. I'm actually surprised that you haven't heard me umph. Now I'm
I
upset.
probably
Gotta go umph
have. I
now.
I probably have. Um, but again, it's not something memorable, right? Because
Yeah,
it
it's
seems
not
so
like
natural to me, just
yeah,
like letting out some sort of noise during
yeah.
a lift.
It actually it's funny that you mentioned that. Like, it actually is kind of natural, like to
It is,
expect that. Like, especially like more towards the end than anything. But like, yeah,
right?
it's pretty natural. It's almost like if you're not like if your face is just like stone cold from the beginning of the set to the end of the set, you've missed a big part of the intensity factor.
I think the only time that's totally acceptable, and they're probably a serial killer, is
Could you
if
imagine?
that if that happens and they're making no noise, but their face is just turning stupidly red and they're just like shaking, like violently having a seizure doing a rep. I'm like, okay, they probably worked hard enough. But
I'm gonna go work
yeah,
out.
there's and I don't know the study. I just remember being told about it when I was actually in middle school because we were learning how to throw shot put in middle school. And me being the jackass that I was in middle school, I went to throw it and I just made a giant grunt noise. And, you know, everybody thought it was funny. But
Yeah.
then the teacher was like, no, that's actually been studied to that you will exert more force with a grunt. And I was like,
Really?
oh, sick.
Sick. I'm gonna fall on that sword till the day I die.
Right. I never question it. I don't care. You know, I do whatever feels right in my lifts. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I
Yeah.
guess, oh, it's not proven. I guess I can't
Yeah.
grunt anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
it's, I just,
not
I
very
remember
good.
that for some reason. So
Yeah. It's weird that the small things that stick, dude.
I know. Yeah, we remember
Uh,
really weird things from just our
yeah.
lives.
Yeah. Yeah, no hold
There's,
bars. I at one point when I was in like sixth grade, I thought condoms were pills.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Crazy things you think back in the day. Crazy things you think when you're young.
Well, if, I mean, women's birth control is pills. Condoms are male birth control.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call right now. I'm gonna mute myself.
I don't know, man. But
Chase Collins. Who the heck? Chase Collins.
I don't know who that is.
Me neither, man. But he's
What?
saved in my contacts.
Definitely from Brockport.
Yeah.
Collect
Yeah.
so many numbers that you
Probably.
don't actually know.
Yeah. Probably. That was weird. Okay. Sorry.
uh, yeah, I could see that though. As I was saying, women's birth control is pills most of the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man.
male birth control, why isn't it a pill?
Makes sense. Yeah. And
That's a touchy topic.
also
Let's
not for
not talk
nothing.
about
It was I had that thought while watching a girl take a probably what was Tylenol at the time.
it.
I was like, she just took a condom.
That's the title of this video.
It's a good thing I questioned it at some point in time. I've now found a new belief of what condoms are.
Still not sure.
Still not too sure.
Uh,
Wow.
popping condoms.
How did we even get
This video?
this?
All right, let's answer a quick one. What is considered an actual set when counting how many sets you do in a workout?
Okay, I like that. So I would count. So just understanding the difference between a working set and a warm up set. So like
Yep.
you have working sets; those are going to be like the actual sets that you're going to count that will contribute to the gains that you're looking for. And then your warm up sets are basically the sets that you're going to take before your working sets to warm you up for those working sets. So if you're working sets, if you are someone who, this is the other thing, like generally how someone warms up is they'll just like grab a weight and they'll just do like mad reps with it.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll grab like something a little bit heavier and then do mad reps with it. And then they'll grab like the weight that they're actually going to try to work out with. I've seen
Right.
a lot of stuff, dude. There's so many fine lines of like what people call warming up. Like it's so funny.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Basically, a warm up should just be enough repetitions and enough sets that prepare you for your working sets such that you're not fatigued by your warm up sets so that you can actually perform for your working sets.
Yes.
So, anything that you do that is a warm up. Now, I would suggest you warm up, right? If you have a top set, so what we normally do, you guys already know 6 to 8 and then a 12 to 15, right? So we open with our 6 to 8 for our working set. So let's say my working set is like 100-pound dumbbells, right? I would warm up with, I'd maybe grab 50s first, and I'd do anywhere between like 3 and 5 reps. And I would really, really focus on all of the cues that I need to focus on. And then I'd probably move up a certain percentage, probably maybe to like 75s, 85s, 95, and then 100. And then those reps to go along with those would be starting 5, next set, maybe like 3, 4, 2 to 3, and then 1, maybe another 1. And then you'll be ready for your working set.
Yeah. Yeah, basically what I consider an actual set is any set that you're going in with the intention of creating a stimulus. Anything other than that is a warm up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And
nice.
I think oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was done.
I was gonna say like also like just look at the set that you just did, and then can you check box the things that make it a set? So like it housed repetitions anywhere between like 1 and 25. Those repetitions were clean. Like you want to make sure that there's like a certain did the end of your set, did you fail? Like, or did you have like a bajillion reps in the tank? Because if I gave you like a 2-pound dumbbell and you did one set with it, or you did like one rep with it, you couldn't really call that like a working set, most likely, right?
Yeah.
Because it didn't really attribute anything to your overall gains in the long run. So if your sets are actually getting
exactly it.
towards failure, and then you'll know that you've actually gotten the most out of that set.
Yeah. Nice. So this is important, or probably a handful of people have this question. We're fortunate to be able to go to gyms, but there's still a lot of people that are in lockdown right now. Can you build muscle in lockdown?
Um, yeah, so I think if you're a little bit more detrained than experienced, then yes, I think that you'll have much more runway than someone who is a very experienced lifter. If you're just starting, literally like off the couch and now you're just like kind of working out, you'll definitely
Yep.
be able to make some progress.
Yep.
Especially if you have like some loads something that can actually like load your body. So you have some bands, maybe you have some dumbbells, fortunately enough, some sort of equipment. You can also do like body weight stuff, but the exercise selection comes down just a little bit.
Is lower.
But
Yep.
but yeah, you can for sure get some stuff done. You can wake your body up for sure, and at least kind of push it more towards being efficient than non-efficient.
Yeah. I totally agree. So for those who are newer to training, and this is a greater majority of people than most people think. I think a lot of people think they are intermediate lifters, when they actually aren't. And that's just because you haven't fully learned how to move your body properly, or take a set deep enough, or a handful of things. Um, so likely there's still a lot of gains to be had, or left on the table from your training that you were doing in the gym, if you were training in the gym before lockdown. There is still plenty of gains to be made. I mean, if you're new to training, you can probably gain muscle by doing push-ups and squats every day. Push-ups, squats, and pull-ups. You'll be a
You
little
could
bit like,
you could
I
change
mean,
your physique.
yeah, I mean, you can't expect to walk out of lockdown ready to compete, obviously, but you can still make progress.
Mm.
There's, even if you don't have any sort of resistance, dumbbells, bands, any of that stuff, the stimulus you can create from, push-ups using a handful of different techniques, squats, lunges, burpees, pull-ups, pike push-up, anyway, all of these lists of just body weight movements. If you're new to lifting, you can probably create the stimulus you're going to need to grow. And on top of that, lockdown is a really great time to kind of lock in your diet.
Hmm.
It's a good time to get all that figured out, figure out where your maintenance is and be ready to move forward once you can go and train again. It's a good opportunity to get all of your ducks in a row, so that the last thing that you put into place is going to be your training.
Yeah,
And
that's
in a way, that's
also,
almost how it should be. You
yes.
should be on top of your sleep, and you should be on top of your diet, and you should be on top of your water intake, because that's really what is going to help you just function as a standard human being.
Hmm.
The gym is there to take you from being a standard human being to a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, or pick your sport and enter it here, right? The gym is that small window of your day that changes you from being a normal human to a trained human. But you should have all of those other ducks in a row. So use lockdown to actually take advantage of those things, to make sure that you can catapult yourself when you're ready to train again.
Hmm.
Because if you don't have those other things in a row, you're already cutting away at how effective your training is going to be in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So,
almost like just like kicking a soccer ball before learning how to kick a soccer ball. Like everyone just wants to kick it. No one wants
right.
to learn like how to kick it perfectly, you know,
Yeah.
or how to kick it well.
Yep.
Whatever. I don't want to be the
Yeah.
perfect guy. I don't want to be the perfect guy, but
I don't know soccer or football for our friends across the pond.
I used to play center in second grade. No big deal.
He was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah. So that's kind of that on building muscle and lockdown, right? Like, don't expect to walk out like Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
But don't toss it up and think that you can't make any progress because there's likely a lot of places in your training and lifestyle that can be improved in this time. And I don't think we need to beat that any further.
I agree.
Nice. All right, we got like another 15 minutes. Here we go.
Crushing it.
This is probably going to be the last question.
All right.
So,
let's get it.
Brandon,
Brady,
take us back. What got you into bodybuilding? We just teleported back to the beginning of his life.
Whoa. Yes. It was
super dark in my house.
Whoa. Dude. It's like all of a sudden pitch black right now.
Let me flick a light.
All right.
You start telling the people about what you do.
Okay. So, oh my God. I think it all started. I think just like literally weighing about like 30 pounds, right? Like if you could just imagine just like being born into a world as like probably the smallest thing ever, right? You like slowly grow up and you realize how like not strong you are in certain areas, specifically the physical department. So I was, and like thankfully I was always like pushed into sports by my mom and my dad. And so like I had that, but I was just phenomenally weak, dude. Like very weak, very small, always got pushed around. Like if I was ever like squaring up with anyone, like I'm like literally playing soccer, like just like little league, like I would
totally
get
thought you meant fighting.
Oh no, when I would square up with people. Yeah, like soccer, I would get trucked. Wrestling, that was a little bit different because like weight classes and stuff like that. Yeah. I was actually wrestling down, if you can even believe that. Like, yeah. Anyways, I was always a small dude. And I played a lot of sports, so like the two don't like complement each other too well. So I was always like into improving my performance for sports so that I wasn't bad and that I didn't lose so that I felt bad again. Like I obviously enjoyed winning, so I wanted to like improve myself in whichever way, shape, or form. And like you know how it goes when you're younger and like you can just get so involved in something, like especially a sport. Like I remember when I was a wrestler. Like I was a wrestler. Like I had like a buzz cut. I wore the sweatshirt into school. I had my duffel bag. Like I didn't really like, my head was down. I literally had like no meals in me. I was only like 12 years old. It's like, what the hell? Like, why are you so serious? It was, and then like when I was a runner, like I was a runner. So I was always like, if I was in it, I was really in it. And I always wanted to be like good at it. I didn't want to be like last leg. I always wanted to be like, even like being first was always cool in my opinion, but I never liked the idea of the pressure. So like I was always cool with like second. I don't know. Like it just like always came down to like it's a lot of pressure and I wasn't sure if I could handle it. But anyways, I was like always I always wanted to like push for more and like improve myself. So eventually I moved away I moved into running, and that obviously didn't help my gains any. And then my senior year of high school, I finally got my butt in the gym because I was like, hey, maybe this whole working out thing might actually like be fun and I won't be small anymore. Like 115 pounds soaking wet. So I got into the gym a little bit, and then you fast forward like a year or so, now we're in college, and I'm working out probably more than I ever have. And I just kind of like kept falling in love with it, like more and more and more. And then I didn't know what I wanted to do at Delhi. I was just kind of there on an all expense free vacation for like 2 years before I figured out what I wanted to do. So like I got the liberal arts thing like out of the way, and I figured out what I wanted to do, and that was basically just help people just help people perform, whether it was like sports. At the time it was like sports, pretty much anything sport related, or just like in the gym. And then like when I got to Brockport, things started to develop a little bit more geared towards just gym, and here we are today.
Wow. That's an
Yeah, sorry,
interesting
that was a
story.
slow start. It really took a little bit to like get us out of that.
No, no, that was good. That was a whole encompassing view
Yeah.
of how we got here. Nice, man.
What about you, Brady?
Well,
I
all started when I was born.
see. You too?
No, not really. Um, when I was in high school, I was a fat, short kid. I had like the two worst qualities.
Dude, I was a tall, skinny kid.
Yeah, I my freshman year in high school, I think I was 4'11", and I was heavy. I don't remember how heavy I was, but I was heavy for 4'11". I wasn't really that heavy for how heavy I am now, but I was heavy back then. I still
Mm.
looked like a child, which I was. Um, my, I played sports growing up and all that jazz, but everyone played sports growing up, I think. Um, my sister was really into the whole athletics thing, and she was pretty good at athletics. And so she kind of lifted for her sports and stuff. And then I started, she wanted me to come with her and lift. And so then I started lifting when I was about 15, um, partially because I was tired of being fat. And so I really just spent a pretty good amount of time just like losing weight and figuring all of that out. Um, I I made the stupidest programs, but now that I think about it, I've always done the same thing. I've always just done the basics. Like
Yeah,
my
it's hard
entire
to
lifting
separate.
career, I've always just done the basics. You
Mm.
know, when when I started, I basically just did like push-ups and squats. Not like I didn't touch a barbell for a long time. I was scared.
Mm.
Um, right? But I did these insane push-up workouts and these insane squat and lunge workouts, and that's just what I did for a super long time. And that was when I first coached somebody.
Whoa.
I yeah, I was like I think I was
You're like, I
16 at
got
this.
this.
Well, it was more along the lines of somebody just wanted to work out with me, and they were like, "Hey, can you kind of coach me through doing all this stuff?" I was like, "Sure."
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know a damn thing, but here you can do what
Yeah.
I did.
Mm.
And yeah, so I started doing a lot of push-up stuff and body weight stuff, and then I was in track, and we lifted as a track team, and that's when I started lifting weights. Um, and there were some people on our track team that were very strong, and they are really, really good lifters. There was some there that are actually still stronger than I am right now. Some big dudes in high school.
Mm.
Um,
Some of those kids just have it. Like honestly.
yeah.
I remember Rob
But
Marino had a mustache in like third grade.
I kind of looked up to them, and they were cool. They were really cool with me. I was just like their little buddy. So they kind of helped me. And hi, bud. He's lonely and
Tell him
tired.
it's time for the gym.
Yep. And so that's when I really started lifting weights. And then, basically through the rest of college, I just wanted to power lift. And that's where like my basis for hip hinges and barbell movements kind of came from was I just power lifted for a long time, trying to get strong at that. And then I took that into college, and injuries and bullshit along the way, of course. Um, but then I got into college and I kept going, and I was like, well, let's try and actually build like a physique of some kind,
Mm.
right? But still relatively powerlifting. It was a weird attempt. Um, and yeah, and then I moved a little bit more towards bodybuilding, just like rep ranges stuff. It wasn't the intent of being a bodybuilder. I still really focused on just being strong through college. And then right in my last year of college, I kind of just worked out for muscle growth. And then when I left college, I got hurt. And when I decided, I got fat again. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? I seem to keep coming back to this bodybuilding thing, no matter what, like at least training, right? I always came back to training. No matter what happened in my life, you know, if I took breaks from the gym, whenever shit was going wrong and I needed to like reset myself, training was just what I went to.
Yeah.
And, you know, I put my all into it. And then after I got fat again, I was like, you know, let's do this to actually do it. Because I never really had any goals previously. And so this time I was like, let's really set off on a mission here and see what we can do. Let's see where I can take this. You know, maybe this is what's meant for me. I keep coming back to it. You know, this is what history is telling me I should probably be doing. And I just kind of went into it with Nick, and we started bodybuilding, and you know, that's kind of where we are now. We dieted down, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Not bad.
Bigger. Let's
It
get
worked.
Bigger.
Yeah.
And you know, Nick's training really kind of jived with me just because of the powerlifting background and just wanting to be strong at barbell movements. You know, was one thing that really attracted me to his style, and you know, I took to it pretty well, and we're just still running with it. You know, I'm essentially doing the same shit I was doing on day one.
Literally. Yep. The rest was history.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And now I guess we're considered bodybuilders, I suppose.
I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
I just go to the gym and try to make shit hurt and fall over, and that's about it.
Yeah. That's been like one of the long-standing psychological things of mine has been I just never called myself a bodybuilder because just like you don't like attention. I think the reason why, I mean, you might be fine with calling yourself a bodybuilder now, but like I just felt like me calling myself a bodybuilder at the time was me just drawing attention to myself almost. Like like your handle on Instagram is exactly what I called myself.
Right. Yeah,
Just
and
a dude who
that's why I
trains.
put it there. I don't really like calling myself a bodybuilder yet. I don't know exactly why. I think part of it is I haven't competed yet, and in my head that's just a part of being a bodybuilder. Otherwise, I'm just someone who likes training.
Yeah.
Right? So part of it is I haven't competed yet. And the other part is I wasn't immersed enough, I guess, in the whole culture. There wasn't anybody who knew me. You know, there still really isn't anybody that really knows me. You know, so I wasn't going to coin myself as a bodybuilder yet. But for the sake of the question, we are into bodybuilding. That doesn't make us bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Right? We are into the sport and we enjoy the sport and it's what we do, but that is not what we are currently.
Yes.
You know?
But we are more bodybuilders than we are most other things.
That is true. That is
we are
very true.
more like that than not.
And that's where the other side of it is it's like, well, I do all the things bodybuilders do. Does that make me a bodybuilder?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the only thing that's not on that item is competing. You know?
Yeah.
I've dieted down. I've even dieted down super hard. I just haven't stepped on stage.
Yeah.
You know, I've dieted. I'm
Yeah,
getting
you ran through
big.
that mock. Yep.
Yeah. I train every single day. My day is based around my training. My food is based around my training. I'm eat the same thing every day. I eat with the intention of performing better
Yeah.
and growing.
Yep.
And so I'm like, I guess that kind of makes me a bodybuilder, right?
I think we're just in denial.
Probably. But yeah, this is what it is.
All right.
But I gotta try. Are you training today?
No, I'm not training. I'm just
What
eating.
the heck?
What the
Are you
heck?
still doing 2 on, 2 off?
I am.
Why?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Get more training days in there.
I'll talk to Nick, actually.
Demand more food.
Yeah. Yeah, dead ass. Yeah.
More
All right.
gains.
I'll talk to him
There you go.
probably this week, one-on-one. I had a nice one-on-one with him like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
He's always dope to talk to.
Yeah. That's why the weekly calls are great.
Exactly. No, you're like, boy, get your ass.
I'm like, you're chatting in another chat right now. Get on this call.
I was like, In my defense, I was finishing my meal though.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
the first half of my meal, I came home after that to make more cream of rice or cream of wheat and ate it here.
Yeah.
All right.
But all right, we're gonna close up here, everybody. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate you guys listening in and supporting us. If you have any questions, shoot us a message on Instagram, and we'll make sure to answer them. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. If you've already done that, you're awesome. If you haven't done that, you could be better.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Just give us the subscribe.
Come on. You'll get an extra rep up. I swear.
That's right. That's right. The subscribe button is anabolic.
Truth.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.